Hey now, feel the same now. Happiness is just around. We'll be there for you. The finger bus is coming and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, then to City Disco. Ah, no. It's a party, cause I'm in the bar. Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, and now it gets combined with Tour de France. It's a wonderful mix. Haven't decided what we're gonna run today. We'll decide when we start. I'm just gonna turning down the music slightly, it's a bit loud. There we go. That's more manageable. 1 minute left there. And there's the Tour de France music. If I press... Oh, it's so loud. It's always so loud. I'm just gonna start. I can't take anymore. What do you mean? There we go. We gaming. Hello gamers, welcome back. So yeah, I know I said we'd play something else, but I'm really in the mood for some more Tour de France. We might play something else later, we'll see. I'm in the mood. So I have submitted my run of Les Trois Jours de Provence to the speedrun timetables. It could take up to 21 days for it to be verified. And also, the moderator has not been online in 2 months. But yeah, we will see about that. I'm going to keep just doing more of these for the time being. Let's tighten my dungarees slightly, they're a bit loose. Okay, so we could just bosh one out really quickly, which has no record. So if I switch over to internet here for web capture of this. Where's this? Oh, Glee, that's why. I have to just resize it. Give me 1 minute. That'll do. So as you can see, there is a lot of runs in this game where there are just no... There are absolutely zero, like, runs. So, from the start, Paris-Nice is empty, Eurotour is empty, Vlaanderen Classic is empty, and Giro di Lombardia is empty. I think before we, as a warm-up, before we get on to one of the ones where we have to compete against someone. So last time, yeah, we beat Le Trajet de Provence by about 8 minutes in game time. So these are measured by in-game time. So we're gonna, yeah, let's do, I think Vlaanderen Classic is a single stage, if I'm not wrong. So it's a cobbled stage. UAE Emirates are realistic. Ooh, a DSM better for this? I think. Oh, maybe Jumbo Visma are better because they've got.
Hi guys. Welcome
Okay.
to this Vlaanderen Classic briefing.
It's another one of
you'll be on
these.
narrow roads. You'll climb
So-
steep cobblestone hills, and you'll fight for a place as best you can.
Yeah, this is
Here
a
for victory today.
single
I'm
stage.
counting on you to do your utmost. The objective is victory and nothing else. I'm counting on you. We don't give up, and we give it our all right to the end.
So yeah, we're aiming for victory as the old guy just said, and ideally, well, we do need to win this if we want. I mean, there's no record here. Like whatever happens, we've won. But ideally, I don't think a breakaway is going to win this one. So what we'll do is we'll get our little sort of our guys, our various guys. We'll get them to sort of ride hard for a lot of this to sort of keep the peloton going.
Welcome to the start of one of the monuments of the cycling
And then
season,
once
the
we-
Vlaanderen Classic.
It's
It's
just
a race for true specialists.
so many different
With narrow
guys.
roads, cobblestone hills, and never-ending changes of direction.
And
This
then once
Belgian
we
Classic only crowns a highly talented rider.
Okay, so I'm just wait for the following group. Okay, no. For the time being, let's just ensure a minimum tempo. There's gonna be some breakaways this early. Do we have any like kind of pointless guys who we can send out? Enkhorn?
The initial kilometres are relatively easygoing.
Is no one gonna
Will no
attack?
doubt provide an opportunity to see an early breakaway.
Or not. No one be attacking. Today is also the final day of the actual Tour de France. I originally started this to celebrate like the Tour de France beginning, and today is the Champs-Elysees. I really haven't kept up with it because I've had no Wi-Fi for like most of it, which is a real shame. I'll probably watch the highlights of the Champs-Elysees today, later. Okay. So yeah, we're ensuring a minimum tempo so that just we're not going too slow. Oh? Where's my dipshit I told to follow attacks? I think it was you. Okay, they are only 25 seconds ahead, so I don't think they're anything of a threat.
The peloton is riding
It's a really long stage, so I don't think it's worth us attacking or anything with the rest of the team. just because we want energy for the sort of final, let's say 20 kilometers, so we can just power through them as hard as we can. If we're like in relatively good shape for that point, then we should. Why does it keep saying wait for the following group? There are no people behind the peloton.
The breakaway is widening the gap. It's good for us since we've got a guy up front.
And also, if this breakaway does go all the way, our guy in the breakaway, it won't, because it's like a 200-kilometer stage and they won't have the energy. But if they do somehow, our guy in the breakaway will sort of count as a time for us. It's just our guy who's fastest. So yeah, it's in that sort of last couple of climbs and stuff where it really matters. So one thing to take into account is there isn't much here. This is just a warm-up. There's not, because it's a fairly flat stage as well, there's not much cycling I have to do. It's mostly just sitting here watching them speed along. It'll be sort of towards the end of the race, we'll sort of do something. But for the time being, we don't really need to do anything. And then this will be a
losing ground.
easy record. And then whatever we get in this, because we're submitting it, it counts as the speedrun record. I think is an important thing to take into account. So this is the first and the second. We've reached the cobbled sections. So cobbles are a bit like climbs in that they take a fair amount of energy and sort of you can't go as fast on them. There's a couple of quite famous cycling races that take place on cobbled surfaces, and they're just notorious for like how rough they are. Okay, in a second I'm gonna, because we're coming up to the first feed zone, so I think it's fine to set a high tempo for a bit, because we can recover that energy. I'm gonna tell our boy Affini to chug a jug.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
And that means he recovers some energy.
The riders are coming to the first feed zone. The race will then enter a more intense phase, with the appearance of the first short climbs along the rider's route.
Okay, Affini has died now. So that's ensure a minimum tempo, which will slow down now, but
First hill for the riders to climb, the Oude Kvaremont.
it does mean that
2,200 metres of cobblestones at 4%.
Oi.
Undoubtedly one of the best known of the Flemish hills. The riders will have to climb it 3 times during the day.
Okay, so that breakaway,
The
the breakaway looks like it's starting
is
to
losing its lead.
lose
It's going to be difficult for them.
lead completely.
New hill in sight. The
I'm just trying to make
1,000
sure
metres at
my guy,
6.4%.
Valvana,
No cobblestones on this hill, though.
saves as
Riders can
much
take
energy as he
advantage of a
can, because we
well-tarmacked
really
road.
will need it, and a lot of people will
The peloton is riding hard.
waste their
Stay
energy.
well placed.
We've still got 125 kilometers to go, which is the length of some
Another
stages.
hill, the Wolvenberg. Only 600
Decker, you are dying. He just doesn't have...
meters, but an average slope of almost 8%. At the top, the riders will be straight onto a cobblestone sector. that
Yeah,
is
so if you look at... so the harder you go, the sort of further your maximum energy drops, which means you can't go as hard for as long, and it takes sort of... You have less
500
reserves.
meters long.
But because our main guy, Vat Van Aert, hasn't been doing a whole lot other than being carried by people, he has quite a lot of energy at the moment,
The front of the race now begins the ascent of
which
the Berendries,
is really decent
950
for a
meters
really
at
long race like this,
7%.
because it just puts him in a
The
incredibly
next
advantageous
hill,
position
Ten Bosse,
for when we
lies
get
within
sort
the
of towards the end.
municipality of Brakel. It is one of the rare hills that sits inside a town.
This is sort of the sort of thing where we don't need to do a
The
massive
riders
amount
will
of playing.
soon be
though.
at the mecca of cycling. the Muur van Gerardsberg. Now that it sits far from the finish,
And much
its
like
role
Mecca,
as final
only
arbiter,
cyclists are allowed
lying inside
on.
the final kilometers, no longer applies. But it still remains a strategic location that could decide the race.
Okay, so we're very close to the breakaway now. I want to kill one of my guys and set a high tempo. Why is it Affini again? Affini doesn't have the fucking energy. Can
The riders up front still have
someone
something
else
left.
do it,
They're
please?
upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
We've killed Rusin. Okay, all my guys have kind of killed themselves, so let's go back to
Come
a
on,
minimum
guys,
tempo.
catch him. He's a danger for the stage win.
Okay.
Looks like the breakaway still has
Oh
some gas
no,
left.
Stefan
It's
Kung's
still able to
escaped.
widen the gap.
Stefan Kung is one of the best riders. Oh,
Breakaway
and
over.
okay, so
Here we go again, starting with a Pottelberg.
so it's
1,000
circuits.
350
So
meters on an average
we're essentially
slope of
doing the same thing that we just done
6.5%.
again. I think a lot of these races do circuits, which is convenient for the developers because they don't
Now
have to do.
Canarieberg stands before
more.
the riders.
Okay,
1 kilometer on an average slope of 6.5%.
so this lead
From
group
the
is
top,
now just
the riders will drop down into the
collapsing
town of Kongsbergen for a
because
second ascent to
most
the
of them
Ude
do
Kvaremont.
not have the energy to keep going at this point. We do because we're
The
one of
front
the
of the
best
race is starting the
cyclists in
second
the.
ascent to the Ude Kvaremont. The race is entering its final phase.
Oh,
Each hill can
the
now
peloton
prove
has.
decisive.
It's still 55k to go though, so I don't want to go hard yet. Outside of sort of
Breakaway
staying in this.
Now on towards the Paterberg for the front of the race.
Why are you wasting your energy on a downhill? What why not? You did shit. No.
Now it's the Paterberg, the shortest hill on the route.
Why is
Only
he?
360 meters.
They don't like
Also
cooperating.
the steepest with its average slope of 12.9%.
I'm gonna let someone else go at the front to try and save some energy. Because he's doing better than everyone else on the team, but he still doesn't have masses of energy. There we go. And now he should hopefully... Oh, for fuck's sake, I've never changed the thing over. I'm so stupid. I've been talking over nothing.
Essentially, you're the fastest of the group in a sprint.
There we go. I'm so clever. That took me just like 15 minutes to work out. Okay.
Okay, if the pace is too fast, I won't insist.
They've only got like a couple of different accents as well, which is particularly fun when most of these guys
The
are
race will
like
now take to the final cobblestone sector on the route.
not
It has the
from America,
particularity of harbouring a hill that sits in the middle of the
but they
sector.
a lot of them
The
have
steam
American
beat
accents for
grease.
some reason.
It's the turn of the Tyenberg to be climbed by the riders.
Okay.
Bunched peloton.
Okay. No, we're being dropped and we don't want to be dropped, so we're gonna have to go hard for a wee bit.
He's got his teammates riding because a rider who's dangerous for the stage victory has broken away.
Oh no, the other guy with Van in his name. There we go, you can see the game now. You can see this absolute beauty of a game that I've been staring at and talking over
Breakaway
without
over.
you being able to see it for the past... while. Okay.
Revealed to the general public after his
We
victory
should
in the
be able to
2016
fairly
Britain
easily-
Classic, Oliver Nason is today one of the leading protagonists in the Flanders Classics.
Reach the pedestal if we need to. I don't love how much energy we're using, but we will reach them if it's the last thing I do, and it may be the last thing I do. Let's do a wee sprint. just so we can catch up with them. Because it's far more damaging for us to be on the road by ourselves than it is. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It won't be long before the riders are at the Kruisberg, the longest hill on the route. That will leave the Uduk-Fademon-Paterberg sequence on which to land a killer blow before reaching the
I may have just
finishing line in
fucked it
Udenland.
up. Whatever happens, even if we don't win this, we have the world record for this. And also, one thing that you can use to your advantage is the AI sucks at cornering in this game. So you can just out-corner them.
The Kruisberg is 2.5 kilometers long, an average of only 5%.
Okay.
After 240 kilometers in the saddle, it will surely
Yeah, I'm
be
gonna
too
chug the
much
rest
for
of it.
many
So,
riders.
for those of you who are just joining us, or who have been watching and before I realised that the game wasn't on the screen. This is Tour de France 2021, a beautiful, beautiful game with no problems. We are playing through some stages to sort of break some speedrun records. We're doing this as a warm-up because it doesn't have any runs, so by default this run that you're watching is the world record run for the time being, unless someone else fancies running the game. And then we're gonna do some runs of.
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out!
We're gonna do some stages which don't have runs at the moment to make our life a bit more complicated and exciting. Here we go. Okay. But yeah, so this game is mostly about energy conservation because you're doing your rider has limited energy and limited sort of energy time they can go ride really hard for. So you as the player are kind of trying to maintain as much energy as you can for the moments when you really need it. Whilst sort of trying to do as much damage to your opponents. Using your teammates, because you control the whole team, you don't just control an individual. So, for example, here we are playing as Team Jumbo-Visma? Jumbo-Visma? I can't remember how it's pronounced. If they're Belgian, it'll be Jumbo, I think.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
So, so we have a bunch of other riders. The others are all light years back
Only 20 kilometers left for
because
the main front.
they
Only
just
the
couldn't hack
Uduk-Fademont
it.
and the Paterberg remain for them to sort out a hierarchy and avoid a sprint finish.
They couldn't hack it, so it's just us and a couple of
He has
other
no more
riders.
teammates, and he's driving himself to retain his chances of winning the stage.
The final climb of the Uduk-Fademont has
And
begun.
there's now only a small number of sort of elite riders who can actually manage to keep up for this long, of which we are one. I've been doing a sort of playthrough of the Tour de France with a less elite team. A still pretty good team, but like one with less of a sort of reputation for being amazing as some of the ones we're going to be using for these speedruns. Who I picked because I found their name funny. And with them, we're trying to win the Tour de France. But with these guys, we're trying to win as many races as possible to sort of beat the speedrun records and all that jazz. And then this culminates eventually. This will culminate eventually in us trying to beat the record for the Tour de France, which is a 21 stage.
Goes over the top of the Uduk-Fademont. Now
A 21
on
stage
towards the
race
Paterberg.
with like an awful lot of complicated stuff. So we're in the league group of 4 now, but there are lots of riders behind us who are probably going to catch up whilst we recover energy. We want to use these downhills to recover as much energy as we can because there's no point going hard on them unless you're playing a character who is particularly good at going downhill. There are some characters who like their speciality is going downhill, and I think
The last hill
there
of the
are
day,
some
the Paterberg.
particular
At the top,
fuck.
There will be 13 kilometers before the finishing line is
You can
reached.
fall off. That's something that I should say. There aren't like crashes particularly, but you can fall off like that. So yeah, this run that we're doing of
Nobody's been able
the
to put one
Vlaanderen
over on his
Classic,
opponents.
the Flanders
Breakaway
Classic, is going to be by default the world record because no one else has run this category. No one else has run this category, but once we've done this one, we're going to do a couple of ones which people have run, and it gets a wee bit more complicated. So we were doing this last night, and we played through the 3 days of Provence, and where we eventually smashed that world record. World records are measured by in-game time instead of with sort of
He's
real
moving
life
onto the
time,
attack.
but yeah, we managed to beat that one by a while because we did a first attempt that failed, and then a second attempt that went far better. You can find all them on as VODs, both on the Twitch channel, and I've got a YouTube channel where I keep all the VODs. So either of them work. So yeah, we want to just maintain as much of the relatively limited energy that our guy has left for what is going to be the final sprint, which is going to be rough. There are all of these cyclists we are with are like top tier cyclists, so we're going to be competing
Watch out,
against.
he's trying to get away on a counter-attack.
We're trying
He's
to
turning the screw.
sprint against these lot.
Acceleration at the front of the peloton. No falling
Okay.
asleep.
5k left to go. That's what that means ahead of us. 5k left to go, and we should have just about enough energy to make
Just
it.
5 more kilometers. It will be difficult to withstand the return
What
of the
peloton? There is no peloton at this point in the race. I'm going to try and recover a tiny bit more energy.
kilometers. You can do it.
We probably have enough for the sprint, but we want to sort of have the energy, so we're going to... Unless someone goes, then we have to go. But they're going to be playing games and all trying to sort of get away. And they're all going to be trying to sort of get away in this last 3k before the sprint, because I have a feeling we are the strongest sprinter in the group. Quite possibly. So yeah, we got 2.2k to go. The sprint will probably start about 1k to go at the red flag. Which all these guys will try and... We've got the energy to go all the way, whatever happens. They're wasting their energy. So I'm going to go now.
Don't look back. The peloton is right behind you.
And see if we can make it. I may have messed up the timing on this. But not. I did it. We did it. We won that one. It's going to take a while for the rest of these riders to get to the end, but when they do, we'll see what our time was. We also might play something later once we've done a couple of runs, because we have a lot of other stuff. Sundays are traditionally the days I do Pokemon stuff. We were doing a randomized Nuzlocke, but wasn't particularly feeling it. I'm thinking I have not... we may do a Pokemon... Just look at this beautiful sprint. Absolutely beautiful sprint. There's a lot of things I want to do. I want to do like a Pokemon Shield's the one I've got. Nuzlocke. A Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke. And we get the achievement for that. King of the Hills. That's 6 hours, 12 seconds, and 26 minutes. In this little box I've got up, which I'm going to use for splits, I'm just going to put all the records we've got today. So one thing that... I'm going to make that bigger as well. 6 hours, 12 seconds, and 26 minutes. Is that, like, big enough? That might be a bit too small still. Is that, like, visible? Is that visible or is that a bit small? There we go, that's better. So... let's just extend that out a bit. Let's also extend this box. So when we get into actual stages, I'll start putting stuff there. So next, if we switch back over to the internet, so we've just got this we just did the Blender and Classic, which is empty. I want to do one which isn't empty. I think we'll do the Blazer. We'll do the Dauphiné is like probably the penultimate one we'll do. We could try London. London is just a very flat, regular stage. So we could try London if we wanted. We could try... Let's... So, I think we'll do one of the one-stage ones, and then we'll do either the Brexit... We'll do the Brexit Cup as... And try and beat that 10-hour one. So one unfortunate thing about this game is... Most of the records that people have uploaded videos of, they haven't actually uploaded videos of like all of their times for each stage and stuff, so we can't have like splits of each one or anything. So yeah, we're going to do we'll do London. I've never done the London race. This is one of the ones I haven't done yet, so this is the London World Cup. So the London World Cup, the current world record. Okay. I'm just gonna take that off the screen for a sec so we can. So the current world record is 5 hours, 30 minutes, have I done this the wrong way around? No, I haven't. And 23 seconds. That's what we're aiming to beat, is 5 hours, 30 minutes, and 23 seconds. There is no video of this. And as we can see here, the second place is 10 minutes behind that, so maybe a bit difficult, but we'll give it a go. So let's go to London. I've never done the London one before, so we actually haven't even unlocked all the races. A lot of them are... There is a vague XP system in this game. But if you want, you can just quick play races and grind XP really, really quickly if you want. So London is a championship devoid of other difficulties. I'm not legend. So we're in professional. Difficulty and stuff does not matter in this game. That's something to take into account. So, do you want the Britain? Who has the best chance? Peter Sagan is... Oh, it's Wout van Aert, possibly. Oh, Filippo Ganna is quite possibly who we want for this. So we're playing as Team
Welcome
Italy.
to the Cycling World Championships briefing. It's a totally flat route that is on offer this year. Absolutely no obstacles on this 17.5 kilometer circuit. 16 laps are planned. We're one of the outsider nations. We can target a medal. I'm counting on you to finish on the
We're one of the outsider medals. We're one of the outsider nations, but we have to finish on the podium. Like, for the other world champion, there's 2 world championships, one that use national teams. And for the other one, I think Britain is the best choice, just because it's a very hilly one, and they've got some good sort of hill riders. Filippo Ganna is, I think, our choice for this. He's a bad sprinter.
Hello and
That's something
welcome
to take
all.
into account.
The prestigious setting welcomes this year's World Cycling
If this comes down to a
Championships.
sprint, we're going to have to change this
The
out
pure
for someone else,
sprinters
probably.
are the big favourites to pull on the
Look,
rainbow
it's
jersey.
London.
This year
Bus.
is a golden opportunity for them because the circuit is completely flat. However, they'll need reliable and committed teammates in order to keep a tight grip on the race and set up a mass sprint finish.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll play all of this because it's a bit... It's gonna be slow. What we could do, because Filippo Ganna is a time trialist, we could try and break away with him. The problem is that it's going to be almost impossible to break away.
Riders will have a total of 16 laps to ride, making almost 280 kilometers of completely flat terrain.
Do we have any sort of fun guys we could send away? Let's send Vivani. I don't know if Vivani will do anything. We're also gonna... We're currently just... want to ensure a minimum tempo, I think.
The peloton has caught up.
This is
There's no more
a nice,
escapees.
easy way to... Okay, so the Spanish... We don't have anyone in any of those breakaways, that's
The peloton
fine.
has just joined up with a breakaway.
It's not... This isn't really a...
The first lap has just been completed by the head of the
This
race.
isn't like
There
a...
are 15
I love the London buses everywhere. That's so funny.
laps to
Which just say enjoy the ride. That's so cute. That one's going to Victoria. It does make London look strangely dystopian, which... maybe to some. I'm going to step off a bit because our boy can't particularly do this alone. And probably needs to chug some... Okay, are we still setting a high tempo? No, we're ensuring a minimum tempo. Oh, you can tell them to try and break away. That's fun. Okay, it's way too early to break away is the thing. Like, it's just wasting energy.
Well placed.
Like, it's just wasting energy to try and break away this early. We've got... Oh, there's Parliament. And now... I have a vague enough understanding of... I think this is the... It looks like we're coming up to Buckingham Palace. I have a vague enough understanding of, like, London geography to understand that those things aren't
time
that
gap
close
with the
to
head
each
of the
other.
race is stable.
But this game does truncate stuff, which is fair. So, yeah, this is a very long race. Very little's going to happen this early in as well. Other than these, like, breakaways, which are not at all a threat. We're like a minute behind,
1.5
but,
minutes
like,
for the
it's a
breakaway.
flat... It's
It
a...
might just work.
It won't just work. If we want to catch this, we can catch it so easily. If it comes down to a sprint, we may want to switch from Ganna to Sonny Cabrelli, just because he is a far better sprinter. So yeah, this is what Hughes missed in the last one, is half of this game is just holding down this button and listening to the fast forwarding noise. Ooh. Okay. this gap, we are reaching the point where we probably need to sort of try and reel them in a bit. We're not even halfway through yet, but it's probably worth it, like slightly worth it. Why would you ride like that, dipshit? Yeah, Filippo Ganna is no longer going to be the one who we win with because he's just killed himself. We're just letting Filippo Ganna die.
Is upping the tempo at the head of the race.
Is there one which means finish the sprint? I may have fucked this by accident. So yeah, this one is an extremely boring stage, but because it's a single one, it is the sort of stage that I don't even see where particularly, like, it's I don't know how exactly you best make gains on this stage. That's what I'm wondering. We'll see what our finishing time is for this first attempt. Because we'll start riding about 50k to go probably, because the elimination line is there, I think. Yeah, we want to reel them in. And we've ridden hard for a fair bit, so that should work. We have just kind of murdered Filippo Ganna, who was our original guy we wanted to win. But Sonny Cabrelli is a very good sprinter and flat rider, so he should have a fair shot. We're more than halfway through now. At about 50k is when we'll start riding, because nothing is or like 2 laps to go, we'll say. Because that's the point when we can actually start doing something.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
We do want to catch them soonish if we can, because the rate that the gap is decreasing is not very fast, unfortunately. We want to win this. I want more world records. I want to be able to walk into my workplace and tell my co-workers, I am a world record holder. They don't need to know that it's a world record in Tour de France 2016. Okay. We will get to the end of lap... Okay. We will sort of ride this last 50k, because it should go fairly quickly now.
Last time checked with a breakaway, 1 minute.
And it will start going far faster soon, I think. Lots of Italians up front. But the thing is, we may skip some... We'll skip to lap 15 because nothing is happening. Oh, who's going? As long as we're not on the front. As long as we're not on the front, it's fine. Oh, shit, if Sagan goes. If Sagan makes it to the breakaway, we're going to have to go because he's a sprinter.
The breakaway is holding off the peloton, but it's going to be difficult.
Okay.
The riders are all back together.
Okay, we're back together. This is what we want. We'll play the last lap. I think that's the most exciting way to do this. There's the Queen's house. That's the name of it. Buckingham Palace.
As the final lap gets underway, one man is alone at the head of the World Championship.
No, they're
He
not.
has a significant lead over the peloton.
No, they
and
don't.
seems to be well set to pull off an exploit.
Stop lying. No one is at the head. It's probably about the last 10k that we can realistically ride pretty hard. But we do want to be going fairly...
Only 15 kilometers left before we know the name of the new world champion.
This is such a weird world championship stage because it's entirely flat. There's like... It's basically a sprinter's stage. Unless someone can ride stupid well. Like in a breakaway. But then it is Britain, where there's not. It's going to be hard to sort of get.
Is accelerating.
Skyball Z? What team are you? What is Eastern Europe? Okay. Okay, we're going. We're just going to have to go then. We don't really have much of a choice.
He's got his team riding because he's a favorite for the stage. You should get rid of him.
Okay, we're not going to escape this time.
Bunched peloton.
We're not going to escape this time, but we want to keep the speed going because...
A teammate has just been dropped.
Hello.
You can't count on him any longer.
I don't speak Spanish very well, but I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
10 kilometers. This will finish in a mass sprint.
Oh, this...
It's an opportunity to take points for the green jersey.
What do you mean green jersey? There's no green jersey. There's no green jersey in this. Why does the game not know that? The game should know these things, you would think. You'd think this game would be aware that, like, there is no green jersey in a single stage thing. Unless there is. It's just the one. So one thing that we can have to our advantage here is we can corner, the AI can't. That's really what should save us. Okay, 5k to go. I can't keep up this pace, I don't think. Because I need some energy left for the sprint, so we're gonna have to. Oh, all of the French, the French. Oh no!
At very high speed.
Okay, so a lot of people are being dropped now.
We are heading for a mass sprint.
We are, and I'm not particularly happy. This is. There's Parliament. Okay, Steve shouldn't get away.
Tough nut to be making off now.
Who is good at A? They're not making off now. So the thing is, we don't even necessarily need to win, although I assume if you don't win, like...
He's accelerating.
Okay. That's 1k to go. We don't have the energy to make it all the way. We don't have the energy. This is fucked. This is fucked. Oh, I think we came second. So the time should be the same. I think we came second now. Ugh. Let's see. I don't think we won that. Yeah, I think that was a second place. So it really depends on time bonus for whether we...
Ladies and gentlemen.
For whether this alters our final time, or whether that's 5:56.15. The world record was... Oh, that was terrible. I wish there was video of the world record holders. It would be very useful because I want to know how they did that. Okay. I've set ourselves on winning London now, so how do you do this? So second place for this. Second place was playing Western Europe? They're playing Western Europe second place. And they used... This was the team they used. I don't think they even altered the team. So... That's 81.5. Peterson and Bennett, we've got enough guys who are good.
Hi guys, welcome to this Cycling World Championships briefing.
Okay. Let's see if we can do better this time. So it's... We just need a way of... Okay. What I think we should do is start with Mullen and try and attack.
Hello and welcome to all.
It won't last.
Prestigious setting welcomes this year's World Cycling Championships.
But
London. The pure sprinters are the big favourites to pull on the rainbow jersey.
it won't last,
This
but we
year
can
brings
try.
a golden opportunity for them because the circuit is completely flat. However, they'll
We
need
can do
reliable
this.
and committed
Let's go.
teammates in order to keep a tight grip on the race and set up a mass sprint finish. Immediate counter-attack behind.
Okay, Danny Martinez coming. I think he's called Danny Martinez.
The riders will have a total of 16 laps to ride, making almost 280 kilometers of completely flat terrain.
I think we can do this. We at least force them to go faster if we break away a lot. It will leave us very weak in the later sort of parts of the race, but oh well. It's only an attempt. I'm going to drop our speed so Martinez can reach us. Okay, I'm not because the peloton's coming. Is it entirely flat stage? I don't think it is even possible to break away, especially not from this distance out. But it's worth a shot. I don't think they're going to let me go either way. Luckily we have the sort of one advantage we have, which is flat corners. The air can't do corners.
The route harbours no particular pitfalls. Apart from the distance, these World Championships are totally devoid of any difficulty.
Devoid of any
A
difficulty.
godsend for the sprinters.
This is not a way you should be riding, is the thing. Okay. We can't keep this up, so we're gonna...
The brake still isn't done. They're stepping
There
on
we
the
go.
pedal at the front of the peloton.
Let's follow Danny. Work with opponents. Let's see if there's any chance of this.
They're riding hard behind.
Let's see if this goes anywhere at all. Or if... It looks... They got a minute and a half. That's not bad.
30 over the peloton. It turned out to be a good move.
Turned out to be a good move. And we're also not killing the rest of our guys. So in the sort of latest points, we can then sort of tell them to work hard. Other than sort of Danny. And then we can sort of... We've got Kung and we've got Bennett. And there are sort of two hopefuls. Although Kung is more of a hill rider, I don't know if Kung is necessarily going to have much of a chance here. But these three are doing a good job, I think. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit more active, because that was really what messes up in the first. On our tries yesterday was just how hands-off we were. by sort of doing this, we're hopefully going to force the peloton to speed up a bit. Okay, so before the speed zone, I'm going to set a high tempo briefly, the feed zone even. And now we're going to go back to work with opponents.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment
So that
to relax.
we are forcing them behind us to go quickly. Is the plan. Okay. Chug the blue gel quickly. I'm sure this is really exciting to watch as well. This just blur I've got on the screen. These today. It's a shame we don't get like in-game time checks because it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, so the time gap is starting to drop quite significantly. Well, that's fine. That means that the what's the word? Peloton is speeding up. Mostly, hopefully. So when this fails, we're going to use another one of our sort of less significant riders, probably Diller or Pedersen maybe, to do another attack if we get caught. And hopefully either one of the attacks works, which is option 1, or option 2, we manage to just speed up the peloton a heck of a lot. Either way, definitely works. Like, this hopefully should be a better strat than last time. Although we still haven't been caught, and we've now ridden like an awful long way. It looks like it's gonna happen. Can I set a high pace for a wee bit? Okay, go back to work with opponents, because yeah, so this is the thing, he really has like no energy anymore. So our boy is probably going to be dropped very soon. Like, just look how tiny his energy bar has got. He can barely like maintain himself for like any significant amount of time. We're at 70k and we've still got 2 minutes. That's decent. We're gonna get caught, but at this point, when we're in the last 50k, we should be able to sort of maintain, do a couple more attacks, and if one of them goes all the way, they go all the way. Okay. So he's not yeah. So Mullen is now just dying.
Last time check with a breakaway.
That's very
1
fair.
minute.
So now we're gonna switch over to Pedersen, I think. Who we're just gonna let them catch the breakaway first. Oh, no, we're not. We're zooping ahead to go join the new breakaway.
He's got his teammates riding because a rider who's dangerous for the stage victory has broken away.
So this is the plan now.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Is we just try and ride hard enough to make it. I don't think we will, but it's worth a shot. And it forces them to go faster, which is always a positive. If this doesn't work, I think we try the British team, honestly. Because Britain has a really strong selection of cyclists. Okay. Casper Hain, who was part of the original breakaway, and now we meet up with Martinez. Okay, yeah, our boy has been dropped, but that is incredibly fair. He rode ridiculously well for most of this race. Okay, we're just going to use all our juice here. They're going to probably catch us soon, but it's worth just trying if we can.
His teammates are chasing behind you.
Oh no, the English. The English are chasing me. I'm just gonna keep going hard though, and ideally that will, if we keep going with Pedersen until he runs out of energy, we can at least drag the peloton along faster than it would be otherwise. And then do the same with someone else until we're in a position where Sonny Cabrelli can
The
sprint.
riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometre.
Well, except for our boy, who is dead. Okay. Now we really do get to enjoy the, like, 3 voice lines they've recorded for the fans in this game. Here we go, here we go. I reckon around 20k we try a breakaway, and I doubt it will go all the way, but we can give it a go. Oh, there's a little Australian guy behind us, wiggling his butt. Just riding as hard as like because my team have so much energy left, and oh wait, I have messed up. Oh no. Oh no. I've hurt them. Oh no. Have I messed up? Oh well. We can keep trying. We've got all night, all evening. I don't know if I should be following the racing lines it lays out more accurately to sort of help as well. But that might help. It is an incredibly uninteresting looking circuit. Really boring. Which I'm not a big fan of London. It's too big. It's far too big for me. But at least it is at least interesting looking city. Okay. Drucker, you're my new choice. Drucker, you're gonna chug. And at 20k we go. At 20k we go, I think is the plan. This is like our final recovery time. At 20k we go, and then if this doesn't work, it's our sprinter's time. Oh.
He's accelerating.
No, if Luke Rowe's going, I'm going. Okay, he's not even going. Luke, what is the point?
Bunched peloton.
We may as well just go hard. We don't have energy to go hard enough the whole way, but we can. With me and Luke Rowe, we can go a decent way. Come on, guys. But we're barely keeping Patterson off, so maybe this is not the strat, but it is a strat. It is damaging my guys in a not great way, but that's fine. If we have Kung, Courtney, and Bennett all chug their feeds, That should at least help a bit. And we get to listen to Boy panting as well, which is always a lovely experience. Past the Queen's house. And 1 lap to go in a second. Yeah, Drucker's about to burn out. So what we've learned
As the final lap gets underway, one man is alone at the head of the world championship.
is if we were to do
He
that
has
again,
significant lead over the peloton,
if
and
we were to
seems
do
be
that
well set to pull
at-
off an exploit.
if we were to do that at about 12k with someone, we could potentially do that. So let us switch to Kung. I think Kung is our rider who's got the best chance realistically. Stefan Kung. Here we go, here we go. They talk like children's TV hosts. Like the the noncy ones.
Only 15 kilometers left before we know the name of the new world champion.
Okay. What did I say? 12k? It was about the point when we get to the Thames, I think. Benef is, I think, the guy who is our sprinter, who we're going to sort of go with if this one fails. Hopefully this, like, is a better time. You'd think it would be because we've actually put some thought into it instead of pressing one button. But who knows? I know I originally said 12k, but we had more energy last time. So, I think 10k or 8k is probably the best plan. Whenever we hit the banks of the Thames, essentially, is when we're going.
As we enter the final 10 kilometers, the peloton is bunched. We're heading towards a mass sprint.
10 kilometers. This will finish in a mass sprint. It's an opportunity to take points for the green jersey.
But what if it doesn't, though? So yeah, I am ready. So our guy who we murdered at the start is now 5 minutes behind, which isn't horrific. Think about it. And here we are. This is the point when I'm gonna launch an attack in a second. We're one guy by ourselves on the road. We can do this. Let's chug our juice.
They're afraid of you for the
I don't think we can do this, but it's worth trying. And then when we're caught, if we're caught, we probably will be caught.
Another 5 kilometers. One man is alone up front.
But if we can't keep them off, we will change we'll change to our sprint guy. If we can't do this. I don't think we can do this, realistically. Last time we were able to hold them off over the line.
At the head of the peloton.
But I don't think we will this time. Okay. Who was it? It's Bennett. Okay. Let's be ready to go.
He's a tough nut to be making off now. He's accelerating.
We have enough energy that we can just go now. Let's do it. This is it. This is it. I can feel it. I can feel it. This is a good one. We don't want to go into that sort of last kilometre on the mile. But
he's in trouble. It's not sure that he'll be there for the sprint.
Well, he won't be because I'm going. There we go. I think we've got this.
There's movement at the head of the peloton.
We won at least. We won. That's not nothing. It's not nothing. Beautiful. Not even close. So last time we were 56:15. The world record is 5 hours 30 and 23. So 5:58. That was worse. How was that worse? How was that worse than last time? We won. We won. Okay. So, what we're learning is the attacking strategy doesn't work. What does work, though, because I'm doing this. If it's the last thing I do, I'm doing this. And I think West Europe are our sort of ticket.
Welcome.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just ride hard every so often. Let's say about 10k before the feed zone. And then feed zone it up. I think that's... So Bennett is our guy that we're aiming with.
Hello and welcome to all. A prestigious setting welcomes this year's World Cycling Championships, London. The pure sprinters are the big favourites to pull on the rainbow jersey. This year really is a golden opportunity for them because the circuit is completely flat.
Okay, so
However,
let's just ensure a minimum tempo for the time being.
Teammates in order to keep a tight grip on the race and set up a massive.
We don't really care about the breakaways. That's what we've learned. The breakaways are not worth caring about. So what we'll do is we will fast forward ahead to the first feed zone.
By the head of the race. There are 15 laps to go.
And then what we'll do, I think, is when we get to a couple of laps after this, I think maybe lap... If this is thirds, it's going to be roughly lap 5. When we get to lap 4, we'll ride hard for a lap. I think lap 5 may actually be the one we want to do that for. We'll see. Because then we get to the feed zone and we can recover our energy. Is the plan.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
No, this is so hard compared to the other stuff because there's so little.
The breakaway is decreasing.
There's kind of not much you can do on such a nothing flat stage. Okay. So what I need to do now is just follow that overture and then tell, I think, Drucker to tempo 100%.
I'll make a big effort on the relay.
And that should help. I think is the plan. Oh, and we also want to have Mullen chuck his blue gel. That'll help him with energy recovery. Oh no, I fucked up. Drucker was meant to chug his blue gel beforehand. We messed that one up, but it's fine. Okay. Let's go back to managing the time gap to allow our team to recover slightly.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's
That's
nobody
fine.
dangerous for us in the
We need to
breakaway.
recover some energy for the time being. Okay. So Mullen is going to set a high tempo.
Breakaway is losing ground.
And then we're going to tell Mullen to follow. We're going to tell Drucker to ride 100 again. And drag us up again. Kung, you're gonna follow for the time being to recover. Drucker is going to be the one who pulls us forward for a bit.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time checked with the breakaway.
We're catching them far earlier than we did before, which is probably good.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend...
Okay, so Drucker now needs to follow. Kung can now... Okay, Dilla can chug. This is very complicated. Dilla can chug. And Kung can tempo 100.
"30 seconds lead for the head of
And now... Okay.
the race.
And now I think we're going to have to...
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady.
We've ridden hard for a long
Breakaway's
time.
over. It's start all over again.
Are we still on set high tempo? Let's go ensure a minimum again for a bit, because... our guys need to recover their energy. I mean, to be fair, we can tell Pedersen... If we... No, Pedersen... We need Pedersen to have his energy. We need at least 2 guys of energy for the final sprint and stuff. What we can do, though, is tell Courtney Nielsen to... chug. Oh. Moscon and Beastdom are going. Neither of them particularly
Looks
scary.
like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
We're about to pass
Ahead
the
of the
feed
race
zone,
is 1.5
which means
minutes lead on the peloton.
now that we've entered the feed zone again, we're going to set a high tempo again. That should be good. It's gonna... Okay, it's killing Mullen. So Mullen needs to go back to follow. Dilla can now go...
Okay, if the pace is too fast, I won't insist.
Okay, and now Dilla can go into follow mode.
Okay, if the pace is too fast, I won't insist.
We've now killed Kung. I think we just go into manage the time gap mode. Okay, so Kung, you need to drink your juice.
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers.
Okay, so we still have really good energy.
The breakaway is holding off the peloton, but it's going to be difficult.
So we're about to enter the final lap. We don't need to go
As the final
until
lap
about
gets
3
underway,
kilometers to go.
One man is alone at the head of the World Championships. He has a significant lead over the peloton and seems to be well set to pull off an exploit.
Okay, he can't be allowed to go.
Teammate has just been
Yeah,
dropped.
of course he has. He is.
Can't count on him any longer.
My team is like all dead at this point. But this could be
9
it.
kilometers for the breakaway.
I really hope we don't...
Tight for the stage victory.
You're trying to run. It's still too early. It's not worth it yet. And if we can use these guys to drag us up, that's even better. Okay, so they're only 5 seconds ahead. This is very doable. Clutch. Yeah, these guys cannot maintain it. Whereas we can. So we're now just gonna go all out for the last kilometre or so. When we turn, we're passing the Queen's house, and when we turn onto the mall, we start sprinting.
Last kilometer. You've got to sprint.
And ideally, we win. Is the plan.
He's in trouble. It's not sure that he'll be there for the sprint.
And we win again, at least. The question is, though, was that a better time? I hope so. I don't want to have to set it to easy mode is the thing. Because I'm wondering if that's part of how they did it. But look, even better than last time. Absolutely beautiful. Nothing. I don't think we could have done any better there. So we've been stuck in the 555, 558 range. We want somewhere near 530. And our attempt is 554? How? That was our best yet, but it's still far below where we need to be. Have I chose the worst stage for this? Have I chose the worst possible stage? Okay. Let's try again. We can do this. I'm gonna be a baby and... Okay. So, I'm just gonna double check the rules, and I'll bring you over to the page for this so you can see. But I'm pretty sure any team, any difficulty, any database. So we could, if we wanted, I'm not saying we should do this, create a dream team of all the best characters. Okay. But what we're gonna do, and this is something I'm not happy about, lower ourselves down to amateur. We're also going to switch to a different team. We're going to switch to Team Anglo. The French may be a choice, actually. Yeah, the French may be a good choice. The one issue with the French is they don't have many good... They seem to be relatively not as high ranked as these guys are. Okay, so we've made our team better.
Hi guys, welcome to this Cycling World Championships briefing. It's a totally flat route that is on offer this year. Absolutely no obstacles on this 17.5.
Okay. What we're gonna do after this if we don't win this one, we're going to attempt to. I'm just gonna put it on a Okay, so Derriga is our guy for the win. Oh, that's a moustache. That is quite a moustache. But Alaphilippe, and it says Alaphilippe for
Hello and
reasons.
welcome to all. A prestigious setting welcomes this year's World Cycling Championships, London.
This is probably the
Pure
most time
sprinters
anyone
are
has
the
found
big
the same
favourites
page.
to pull on the rainbow jersey. This year really is a golden opportunity for them because the circuit is completely flat.
So,
However,
yeah.
they'll need reliable and committed teammates in order to keep a tight grip on the race and set up a mass.
I'm wondering if it's better if instead of doing what we did, we should kind of just maintain energy until that second feed zone, and then as a team go incredibly hard for the last sort of while.
The riders will have a total of 16 laps to ride.
So I'm gonna
making
leave them
almost
to
280
sort of manage the time gap zone.
kilometers of completely flat terrain.
But I think realistically, we just sort of watch this time. I'm so tired.
The first lap has just been completed by the head of the race. There are 15 laps to go.
Okay, so zoom. It's really exciting content. I'm gonna make it more exciting if you give me a second. This is how we did it last time. This was the strat for last time, so let's see if it works for this time. Although, that is a point. Does it fuck up the YouTube videos?
The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing.
I'm just having a wee look. They claim the Tour de France music?
The breakaway is losing ground.
Okay. That's fine. But I'm just having a look at whether... This will help. We're just managing that time gap. Go in. You're gonna chug. Do 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 do. This is more sustainable than going all out for a while, I think. If this doesn't work, I don't even fucking know. Okay.
Okay, I'll avoid any extreme effort.
So Alaphilippe is now the guy we've put on the front. Which I don't love, because he's probably our second best rider, but also he's not really a flat rider, so it's probably fine. Let's put him on up to 80 for a wee bit. This music makes me want to play Halo,
Decreasing, guys.
which can only be a bad thing.
Peloton should be there for the stage win.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute.
We're just trying to sort of... The concept is we're keeping sort of our pace quite high so that then we can... We're just sort of gaining time constantly.
All back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers.
Okay. Seneschal, you are now... Okay, so Alaphilippe, chug. Until he dies, which it looks like he is about to. So let's just... Okay. So Seneschal needs to drink. As long as, like, our sprinter is fine. Okay, 20k to go. Do we not have a go speedy button anymore?
As the final lap gets underway, one man...
Okay. I'm gonna switch to Denmark quickly. And we're gonna go for it.
World Championships. He has a significant lead over the peloton and seems to be well set to pull off an exploit.
We're gonna see if this helps.
Only 15 kilometers left before we know the name of the new world champion.
I think we've gone too early, but we'll see. It will speed them up at least.
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers.
Do, 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 do. Okay. So let's switch to our sprinter, who we're
Bunched
sort of
peloton.
preparing this for. So we've been pretty hands off, just telling them to go fast this time.
Just 5 more kilometers. Get ready to sprint. We need to score points for the green jersey.
There's no green jersey. It's a one-day fucking race. Okay, we're gonna have to sprint early. I'm just gonna drink all my sprint juice. Okay. Let's just drink as much sprint juice as we can in this last sort of... Then corner real good. And take this corner sprinting.
The peloton is very close. The title will be decided inside the final kilometer.
Oh no, he isn't actually as good a sprinter as I thought he was. Oh no, he's... We might get caught here. Right, let's see. Let's see if this was any better. Oh, I did murder Seneschal. Okay. Oh. Yeah, Ladies
and gentlemen.
So we won. Fifth. It's worse again. This sucks. Okay, so what we're going to do... Attempt 5 is what I'm calling this, but in reality what it is essentially a control. What we're doing... Don't take me... Oh no, the Tour de France we were doing has been lost. I'm gonna have to clear some slots. You get very few save slots with this game. Okay. Okay, let's just try do not alter.
Hi guys. Well,
And let's quick stage and see how long it takes them. Is this even doable? Because I don't know what we can do to, like, break that. 5:58. So we're not actually, I don't know what we're doing here. I may have chosen the worst possible category to try and run for this. Well, this was an annoying, angering warm-up. I'm gonna delete some saves quickly. Because we don't need all these saves anymore. What is this Eurotoll one? Okay. So, that went badly. I think we can all agree. So, let us, if I just switch over 1 second. I think what we need to do, realistically, is... Oh, that's my run awaiting verification. Let's do the Brazier Cup. So we're doing the Tour of Brittany, essentially. It's a... which I can spell. So the world record is 10 hours, 17... So 10 hours, 17... Nah. And 43... Eh. And this is going to work a bit different to what we've been doing before. Because it's a multiple stage race. So, okay, let's switch back over to the game, which I'd already done. And we're gonna do the Brazier Cup. We're going up to professional. I don't like playing on amateur. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream. If you are, please consider following me here and also on my various socials. They're all linked in the description of the channel. It really helps out. It really helps us out. You know what I'm gonna do? We're doing UAE, but we're bringing in the big guns. Who admittedly might not be very useful because this is a... We're bringing in the big guns.
Hi guys, welcome to the briefing for this first stage.
So we got 3
The main thing to grasp
stages.
today is that the route is flat and without any difficulties. But be on your guard as the wind can lead to bordures. Don't get caught out. We can win if there's a bunched finish, and it's a chance we can't miss. Come on. Today, it's our...
So another thing with this is that there's time bonuses for winning stages, and like strategy actually matters now. Well, it did in London, but I couldn't work out how because I'm too stupid. So it looks like Christophe or Gavra are our favourites for today. Christophe is better. I kind of want to do it with Poggers. No. Okay, let's do a Gavra. We don't need any breakaways or anything.
Hello and welcome to all. Today's stage is conducive to a mass sprint finish.
This is also about
There are
100
no
kilometers
difficulties on the
shorter
roads are
than
wide and straight. The sprinters' teams will no doubt do everything to maintain control of the scenario.
1. So we are UAE Team Emirates. So in cycling, if you're unaware, teams are sort of named by their sponsors instead of by like country or whatever, or like where they're located by and large. The ones that are called like UAE and Israel and stuff like that are named that because they are sponsored by the sovereign wealth funds of those countries by and
Profile
large.
doesn't promise a thrilling race. Outside the 2 intermediate sprints and a 4th category climb, it would be an easy day for the peloton.
Okay, so we want to ensure a minimum tempo, I
1
think.
minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
It's not giving me the option to...
1.5 minutes for the breakaway. It might just work.
It's not giving me the option to prepare for a sprint, which is probably what we want to be doing. But that's fine anyway. So let's just set that to sort of go to the first sprint. Let's set a high tempo for a bit.
The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing.
There we go. So now that's a bit of extra.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for
I
us in
think the
breakaway.
plan should be whenever we have
Let's
energy.
not forget that in this event, road races include 2 intermediate sprints, each earning 20 points for the rider who crosses the line first.
Okay, so we are preparing. Oh, we've actually, because I've set it up properly, we've got lead outs and stuff. Let me through. And we just zoom away. Okay. So now we want this group to sort of just meander our way back to... And now... Let's set a high tempo for a bit. We've just gone through the feed zone. But this will help us an awful lot, I think. Methinks. So yeah, there are bits we want to play, especially when it gets to that first sort of climb. Chug.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway.
Okay.
The head of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
So now we want to try and get sprint points again if we can. Just for the fun of it, mostly. So we're going to just sort of zoop our way out again.
2 kilometers from the climb.
And... Oh. Now, again, we want to wait
They're
for
going
the
to have to
following
ride
group.
hard to really the breakaway. With this lead, they can start to believe it.
So let's work hard for a bit.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
But we have
Last time
one
check for
guy
the
who's
breakaway.
willing to
1
like
minute.
kill himself for us, so okay. So now I want my boy to... Okay, so now Christoph is doing the same.
Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
Oh, good, the wind is
Watch out,
happening.
guys. We're coming to an exposed zone. As expected from the briefing, there's wind. Stay on front.
Ah. I'm very good at the controls of this game. Okay, we just want to make sure everyone's got energy for the... Like, the people who need it have energy for...
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
Okay. Our guys should probably do the same.
10 kilometers. This will finish in a mass sprint.
Oh,
It's an opportunity
no,
to take
we
points
are
for the green jersey.
trapped in a place we do not want to be trapped. So yeah, we want to win this because there's time bonuses for winning stages. Essentially.
Only 5 kilometers left before the name of today's winner is known. Given the race profile, it is more than likely to be a sprinter.
Let's also set that to be... Okay, no, we're...
Writes his name in the annals.
Just 5 more kilometers. Get ready to sprint. We need to score points for the green jersey.
I'm right at the back of the group, which is not ideal. We're not in a position we want to be in, really. With a sprint come in. If we can't very quickly get through this, I think we're fucked.
The red pennant. And the sprint is on.
Go! 1 kilometer. Give it all you've got.
Okay, I'm just going. I don't think we've got it, but... Oh, we got it! Nice! Oh, that was very stressful. Okay, so... So the one thing that may be the issue here is...
Ladies and gentlemen, we can see among he tops the stand. He will climb.
Our guy who's just won is not the guy we're gonna
Well
want to
done,
win
lads.
for the end.
Congratulations to you. We were the pre-race favourites, and you lived up to the role with brio. Well done for this win.
So that
Hit
is
the ground running, and tomorrow we'll have the honour of defending the yellow jersey.
28 seconds and 36. Oh, 20. So what I'll do is I'll have the stage time and then the total time there, so that we can compare that for future attempts if we need them. So stage 2 is hilly. This tour is a very hilly tour. This is where we change to Pogacar. An attack from far out can work on these two stages. Is something to take into account, but Pogacar is like the favourite to win them, so we should be okay. Most of our team are doing pretty good, except for Ulysses. There is one cobblestone section, and he is not good at cobblestone.
The Breton roads will put the peloton
Demat
under
Dun
severe
Hall,
pressure.
whatever that means.
The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require
I assume that's
unflagging
Breton.
attention in order not to be caught off guard by the most audacious, who will find them ideal terrain to go on the attack.
Telling me like it requires like my unmarked attention is quite funny. Like you cannot just chill on this one. Okay, so I honestly think our best strat here is just do nothing until we start climbing. There's no point us trying to break away.
Time
And
gap stabilized.
it's going to be rough, so there's no point
Gap
us
is
doing...
decreasing. The peloton has not given up.
There's no point us doing much
Breakaway
until
riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings.
we
can let
at
them
least
go.
get to... What's the word? To sort of about halfway through the stages when we want to start doing stuff. So after about the feed zone, we'll start sort of trying to reel them in and stuff like that.
The breakaway is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
I'm just seeing if it's got a... Yeah, accelerate for the intermediate sprint. There are no points for us there, but that's fine. I think we may want to high tempo it for a bit.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. The first King of the Mountains summit is classified as a Category 3. There will be 2 points and 1 point to be scored at the top.
Okay, so Christoph, you're going to want to chug now, I think. I think
Ranked
that's the
4th
strat.
category, the next King of the Mountains summit will earn 1 point for the rider who's in front at the top.
We don't care about King of the Mountains points. All we care about particularly is... Okay. Is,
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
Okay, everyone who needs to should chug their blue gels because we're about to get more blue gels.
King of the Mountains sprint in 2 kilometers. For the breakaway
Okay, we're gonna switch to ensure a minimum tempo for a bit because we've caught up for a wee bit.
There's nobody dangerous for the overall standing.
It's after the second sprint is when we're gonna start doing stuff as Pogacar. Because he is a strong enough rider that we have the power to do that. But we don't need to do much this early on. Oh, some riders have already been dropped. Including the King of the Mountains, which is very funny. That's very funny. It's always very funny. It happens a lot on these, like, stages.
Try to hold out till the end.
Like, these sort of short tours where you have a very flat stage with, like, one mountain or a breakaway win on stage 1. Okay, we've lost Micah and Gavria. Which is not ideal. Okay. Let's just enter protect our leaders mode. Because we've lost most of our guys now. And when it's just me, that's going to be tough. It's doable because Pogacar is a very good rider.
Is 3 kilometers from the intermediate
But
sprint.
okay, we don't really care about the intermediate sprint. We've lost our sprinter anyway.
The front of the race is approaching the intermediate sprint. Remember that only the first 15 score any points for the green jersey
Okay, yeah,
classification.
so this one is not the one where we want to sort of focus on. We just want to make it up this one alive, I think. And then after this one is when we're going to start going. Because the other two are the more important ones for actually winning the stage. So our priority here on the descent is energy recovery.
The gap is growing. Don't worry. They're not well placed in the overall standings.
Ole, ole, go, go, go.
We're now entering the last 20 kilometers of the race.
Okay, I'm trying to not lose my stuff again and fall off. Which does happen to me quite a lot in this game. Okay, so we're heading towards the next climb, which shouldn't be too horrific. I don't love that this breakaway is doing so well. That's scary.
The last climb counting towards the mountains classification is on the horizon. It's 1 kilometer at over 8%, making
It's
it
also
an ideal moment
not
to
the
attack
last
for
climb.
those who don't want to wait for the short climb at the finish.
Like, oh yeah, other than the finish. Because the finish is the actual last climb. We're 2 minutes behind, this is not good. This is really not good. We're like a kilometer behind them, which is really less than ideal. They have finished this climb. We are still at the start of it. So for this last 10k, I'm basically going to just try and go myself and see if I can catch up with them or come anywhere near close to catching up with them.
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out.
Because we need to catch up with this group if we want to win this. If we want to win the stage, to get the time bonus.
You're on your way to the top spot of the white jersey standings.
We need to
It's
greet.
great. Keep
Power
going,
is a
kid.
very fun name with the guy in first. Okay, so it's me and Banut. Anything over 6%, we want to go into that sort of like descending position. Okay. We functionally. Ooh, thanks for the. Yeah, it doesn't show me. Thanks for the follow, Jessica. I hope you're enjoying this cursed stream. I'm glad that we're not doing like the London one anymore, because that was truly. It felt Sisyphean. We were pushing that boulder, but there was no end in sight.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
1.5 minutes lead is very doable here. We can see them. We can see them. Okay. We have plenty of energy. I've won this stage in my own
5
single
kilometers from
player,
the finish,
in my
a
own
group
sort of career
riders
mode.
alone at the head of the race. Will they manage to hold out in the final kilometre?
No, they're not going to manage to hold out, because I'm coming. We're about to catch Sanchez. Come on, I said we're about to catch Sanchez. Okay, there they are. They're a bit of a way
The
ahead.
final climb is 1 kilometer long. It's split into two with a very, very steep foot. And the final 400
We have to just
meters
go
are
all out
almost
for
flat.
this whole section, because if we don't, we have no way of catching them. This is kind of intense. We haven't been in like a kind of losing situation like this for a while. We can make up this like 40-second gap though.
1
That
kilometre
is.
for the lead riders. If they don't eye each other, victory should be for one of them.
Okay, so we now have to like sprint. If we want to.
He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings.
Okay, so we are not gonna win this one, which is less than ideal, but because everyone else was fairly far behind in stage 1, we might from that come snook into first. We'll see. That was less than ideal. If we don't get the record on this try, we can do better than that. That was, yeah, kind of a bad stage. I needed to go on the attack earlier there if I want to catch them and do better at managing that breakaway.
He succeeded in. He tops the stand. He's amongst. He will climb on.
So we're best young rider at this point, but we're not best rider. And we're going to get yelled
This
at by the
result
guy.
is clearly not up to my expectations. It isn't catastrophic, but when you've got victory in mind, it's obviously a disappointment. We lost the yellow jersey. It really is a bad day.
Okay, so we are... That stage we did in 3 hours. We are 9 seconds behind. So 3 hours, 34 minutes, and 45 seconds, which puts our overall tour time at... We're in second. 7 hours, 3 minutes, and... I can maths. 21 seconds. So we have to do this next stage in 3 hours and 14 minutes if we want to beat the world record.
It's the final stage, guys. Today's route is hilly
It
and
is-
a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punches. We'll have to keep awake for the points classification.
Okay, we can do this. So I think the plan is relatively early on. Well, not relatively early on, but kind of. We want to kill. Well, do damage. About when the laps start is when we want to start doing damage.
Hello and welcome to all.
I think I
It's a demanding
maybe should have brought
route that
some
awaits the
different
riders
people
on
in.
today's stage, with numerous changes of direction, narrowing widths, and plenty of short climbs. The Breton roads will no
2.
doubt put the peloton under pressure.
Okay, so nothing particular exciting this early on.
Guys, it's not going to be an easy day.
No.
It's hardly ever flat. There's plenty of winding
So this is the thing, we
roads,
need
and the
to
final circuit looks
conserve
like
our
a roller
energy.
coaster ride. You're going to have to keep plenty in the tank for the last lap of the circuit.
We want to manage this time gap. But none of these people are particularly scary. So long as it is that last lap is what really matters.
1.5 minutes to the
So
breakaway.
you'll see it
Might
goes
just work.
category 3, category 4 climb over and over
King
again.
of the mountain sprint in
We
2
do,
kilometers for the breakaway
essentially
group.
we do laps
The
of
first mountains classification
the same
points have
mountains
just
over
been
and over and over
grabbed,
again.
And already thoughts at the front of the race turn towards an intermediate sprint. The first across the line will score 20 points.
So on this big sort of empty bit, I don't think we really want to do anything. We're going to start upping the pace when we get to
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap.
when we
They are
get
not
to
dangerous for
what's
the overall standing. We can let them go.
the first sort of lap of the 5
The
lap
gap between the
circuit,
peloton and the escapees is stable.
because we want to start doing damage and knocking people out if we
The
can.
breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them.
The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys.
It's
There's
fine.
nobody dangerous for the overall
There's only
standing.
3 of them as well, which is far harder for them to maintain. But we do want that time bonus is the main
The
is
front
the
of the
main sort
race
of
is onto
thing.
the final circuit.
Okay. So now we're going to start sort of going for it.
King of the mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group.
There will
For that long.
be 1 point to be had towards the polka dot jersey at the top of the next climb. The second
We're just doing this for, like,
sprint will
1
be
lap.
decided.
And now we're going to go back to manage the time gap. Because we're about to get to the feed zone.
Next time the finishing line is crossed.
We're about to get
in
to
a
the
little
feed
less
zone,
than
so
5 kilometers.
our guys can now recover some energy. Yeah. So
Gap
there's.
is widening. No need to panic,
Okay, no, we do need to go a bit. Can we please do a better job managing the time gap?
guys.
Team.
There's nobody dangerous for the overall
We have
standing.
too many flat, like, people who aren't good
The
at
breakaway
hills
is losing
is
its
the
lead.
problem.
It's going to be difficult for them.
We are dropping a lot
Another
of people,
3 laps
which
to
is
ride for
quite
the men at the
nice,
front.
and none of them are
The
ours.
breakaway is unlikely
Yet.
to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
Okay. So yeah, so that final lap when
The head of the race has 1.5
I,
minutes
as
lead on the
Pogacar,
peloton.
need to go, essentially.
The race is entering its final phase.
Yeah,
There are only 2 laps left to ride.
so let's go... Actually, no, I don't even know if we even can... Yeah, high tempo for a wee bit.
Watch out for him for the overall. You've got to chase him down.
Who's in that? No one important. Okay. So, it's time to feed all our boys.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
Except for Gavria, who has already been fed and will
30
probably
seconds
drop
lead
off.
for the head of the race.
And we're about to... So it's after this when we enter the final circuit. So now, I am going to take over and ride the rest of the way. So it's on that first Cat 3 crime is when I'm going to try and break away.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers.
Yep. So, we just generally want to be going as fast if we can because, and I not doing what I just did because every second here counts. Every second here is important. We're not at the climb yet, but we will be very shortly. And that's when we make our attack, is towards the sort of summit of that climb. Okay, we've still got like 4 guys in this group, which is nice. So that's... yeah. About now is when we
from the top of the climb.
want to start doing something. As this guy tries to escape.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Okay, or we can use that French guy to as a sort of shield to turn with. Okay. So we're not going to use all our resources here because we do have to do another climb still. But we are a pretty powerful climber.
We're professional leaders. Come on, keep at it.
I'm 13 seconds behind, so as long as we finish 3 seconds ahead of the group with
First
Martinez
over
in
the
it,
top of the climb. That's good.
then we have a pretty good chance of... and also by doing that, we dropped a lot of people from that group, the group that we were in. There's now only 10 of us in this group.
He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings.
And we're getting close to the final climb of the day. I'm still trying to recover some energy because that's what's going to really matter. Because we're going to have to... It's after this final climb when we can fully break away. Because we've succeeded in sort of breaking this down into a far smaller group of riders. And now we need to turn this group of riders into just ours, preferably. We've gone from like 20 to 10 in the course of a single sort of climb and descent. I think. If we've messed up and haven't managed to win this, that second stage is definitely where we can make up some time.
Still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
Okay, but now is the time to sort of start going. Okay, so a kilometer to go. We're gonna drop them if we can. Okay, we can't drop them. It was worth a shot. So it's going to come down to descending. And then potentially a sprint.
The lead riders are now at the summit. Nobody's managed to gain the upper hand. Victory should come.
We
down
have the
to a
energy
sprint.
to go all out here, and it is mostly downhill from here, so
Only 5 kilometers left for
let's
the
see
head of
how
the
we do.
race.
So yeah, we're about to hit the downhill, and if we do a good job here, we can potentially drop a bunch of people. Probably, it's far harder to sort of break away on a descent, because I'm very bad at them. So I think probably what we want to do here is just...
Keep calm. You're doing fine. You're going to win it.
No.
Go! Go!
He said that and we immediately fucking failed. He like did that on purpose. Okay, we can sprint this. Oh no, the one issue is we are not the best sprinter in this pack. But. Okay, we came second. It might be enough. It might be enough. I don't know how well Van der Poel was in those overall rankings. So. I don't think we would have done that. Unfortunately. Too embarrassed to even watch it. So the time we're aiming for is overall 10 hours, 17 minutes and 43 seconds. We win GC, is the thing.
The podium is good,
350.
but I was expecting more from
That's a terrible time.
Should have won. We finish with the yellow jersey and the green jersey. It's superb, guys. This is a great performance.
That adds up to at least 11 hours. We haven't done this. We're about an hour too slow. Yeah. So that is, on world record, that is... $46. So that's plus 46, ish. Plus 46 and some maths that I can definitely do. 55 seconds? That's gonna show up weird. Okay, let's give it another go. We can do better than that. We'll do one more and then I think I'm going to call it a day because I'm quite tired. Okay. We want Pogacar. We want Micah. We want Gavria. We want Fermento. We want Trentin. And we want McNutty. Just our 6 best riders.
Hi guys. Welcome to the briefing for this first
So this
stage. The main
stage...
thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and without any difficulties. But be on your guard as the wind can lead to bordures. Don't get caught out. We can win if there's a bunched finish and it's a...
Without the wind. And... listen carefully to our director sportif. Definitely. He's been so helpful. So helpful this whole time. Gavri and Trentin are the guys we want for this, but I'm going to try with Pogacar.
Hello and welcome
a bit of a
to
breakaway.
all. Today's stage is conducive to a mass sprint finish. There are no difficulties and the roads are wide and straight. The sprinters' teams will no doubt do everything to maintain control of the scenario.
So essentially what I'm going to do
The
is
profile doesn't promise a thrilling race.
about
Outside
that,
the 2 intermediate sprints
about
and the
on
fourth
the
category
one climb,
it will be an easy day for
we're
the
going to
peloton.
use that to try and sort of get away and see what we can do. I don't think we'll be able to do anything, but it's worth trying.
The peloton has caught up. There's no more escapees.
Okay, there's no one important in that group.
1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
Okay, McNulty, I want you to do that. I want us to go hard for a bit.
I'll consume a speed.
Okay, McNulty is probably not
The
the guy we
time
want
gap
left
between
too
the peloton
long.
and the breakaway.
So let's change to that and put Famolo on
is decreasing.
tempo 100.
The breakaway is losing ground.
I think this is the strategy.
Let's not forget that in this event, road races include 2 intermediate sprints.
Yeah,
each earning
we don't really
20
care about the
points for
intermediate sprint,
rider who
but
crosses the line
Gavria got the
first.
points. And now we want to go back to speed in. It's going to put McNulty
The gap
going.
is increasing.
So for Molo, we want to drink.
Don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the
No,
breakaway.
but we do because we're speed running. Director Sportive. I don't think you realise that. I don't think he realises what we're doing.
Front, whatever happens.
The head of the race has 1.5
But we
minutes
can-
lead on the peloton. Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute.
Okay, you need to go back to persist without limit again.
Understood. We'll stick to the wheels in front. Whatever.
So let's accelerate for the intermediate sprint.
The second intermediate sprint is approaching. The winner will pocket 20 points in the green jersey classification. The only climb of the day.
Okay,
is classified
now
as
it's my
fourth
time.
category. There will be only 1 point to be earned towards the mountain standings.
The issue is we are still 60k ahead, but I think we could do some damage here if we want to. Like,
Here's the positions over the last climb. You're dangerous for the overall standings. He won't let you break away like that. Moreover, the route is not really conducive to a breakaway.
I know. I'm aware, game. You don't need to tell me that what I'm doing is stupid. But still. I want to try and link up with the breakaway. If I can. And also by doing this, we are forcing the breakaway to go, or the peloton to go much faster. So there's Torres ahead of us. We can also drag these guys into the breakaway, unless he is entirely too tired, which is quite possible. We've just messed this up completely for everyone else who thought this would be a normal stage. This kid who, I believe, won the Tour de France in
The
2021.
peloton is 1 minute away.
You have 30 seconds on.
Okay, we don't have 30 seconds on the peloton. Never mind. But that may have helped someone. So he's
Looks
allowed
like
to
the
go.
breakaway still has some gas left.
We're
It's
not
still
we're
able
not
to
a flat
widen the
rider,
gap.
to be fair.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I would kill my guys, but you don't have that lead.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race. Bunch. Peloton.
Okay, we're gonna go back to just letting other people do the head of the race for now. So we are exposed to the wind. I think we go for a
Watch out, guys.
Gavria
We're
win
coming to an
and get him
exposed
just
zone.
in a better
As
position
expected
than he
from the
was last
briefing,
time.
there's wind. Stay up front.
Because that was one of the problems, was we were right at the back last time. So this is a stage where... Okay, our position is far better here. I can probably tell my team to start sort of preparing for the final sprint soon as well, which should be helpful. Just trying to tuck my guy in. So one fun thing about this wind is it will eliminate a lot of... It will break up a lot of people. Okay.
15 kilometers to go, and the peloton is already preparing for the final sprint. It would be a surprise to see someone manage to get away and hold off the sprint trains.
This happened again. It's happened again. We're at the back of the fucking group.
10 kilometers. This will finish in a mass sprint. It's an opportunity to take points for the green jersey.
Yep, I'm aware. And there they go, go, go. Luckily, we are right in the middle of this group, so we are relatively well protected. Okay, we're going too hard to drink at this point. Or it's blocked me off because we're not meant to actually drink at this point. That's also very possible. So we got 7k to go. It's looking good. Hopefully we're going to do well and we won't get yelled at this time. These lot just trying to sneak away. I'm gonna have to like do something cheeky and be like consume feed.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
Or not.
Only 5 kilometers left before the name of today's winner is
Okay,
known.
we're in a
Given
pretty
the
good
race
position.
Profile, it is more than likely to be a sprinter who writes his name in the annals.
We're in a pretty good
Just
position
5
here.
more kilometers. Get ready to sprint. We need to score points for the green jersey.
I think we can win this. But ideally we want to like be in a way better position than we were last time. If we can win this, that would be ideal. I think we can win this if we time our sprint right. I'm in rail.
The red pennant, and the sprint is on.
It's a horrible thing to be sprinting into. And we win. That's better than last time. And Pogacar was right up there with us as well, so all in all, pretty good. So,
He succeeded in avoiding all the pitfalls to win today. Here is he tops the stand. He will he's a we can.
let's see how we did.
Well done,
3:25.12.
lads. Congratulations to you. We were the pre-race favourites, and you lived up to the role with brio. Well done for this win. We hit the ground running, and tomorrow we'll have the honour of defending the yellow jersey.
So that is minus 3 minutes and 24 seconds. So that's not all of what we do need, but it's a start. Stage 2 is, I think, where we need to gain the most time back. Just give me 1 second to check something. They did the final stage in 3:37, is something to take into account. So we need to... The final stage is the one where we lost most of the time there. Oh, 3:25:02 I should say, sorry. Because of that 10-second... Because of that 10-second bonus. Okay, so we want to play this, and this is where we switch to Pogacar. And we're not going to let a breakaway... We're not going to let a breakaway go all the way this time. In fact, what we could do is just...
The Breton roads will put the
Demat
peloton under
Dunhall.
severe pressure. The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require unflagging attention in order not to be caught off guard
2,
by the most audacious, who will find them ideal terrain to go on the attack.
So I'm tempted to just full-on attack from the start, is the thing. And it may be a stupid idea. In which case...
Attempt at a breakaway.
But it is...
The front
a valid
runners are
option.
10 kilometers from the first intermediate sprint.
What do you mean we're 10 kilometers from the first intermediate sprint? No, we're not. You liar. So we need to waste some energy here just getting to this group. And then we're going to set it to work with opponents.
Shoulders, but it stays with the team.
Oh, never mind. Didn't pay attention, lost that. We'll try once more, and if that doesn't... And we'll pay slightly more attention, so we don't lose out. Because we were meant to be working with these guys in like a decent way. I don't know what went wrong there. Okay. Just keep an eye. Just keep an eye on what's happening. Oh, it's because the peloton caught us. So we went away again. Once more. If this breakaway fails, I think we have to admit defeat and wait for a time when it's more conducive to breakaways. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna let them go now.
The breakaway
And now
riders
they
are
immediately
increasing the gap.
succeed.
They are not dangerous for the overall
They immediately succeed now.
standings. We can let them go.
But they are, we've seen last time how it messed us up. So that's just... Okay.
Time gap stabilized.
We've stabilized the time gap. I'm gonna start saying
The breakaway is
stabilize
3
like that,
kilometers from the
because it's...
intermediate sprint.
This game has messed up my brain. Okay. So we want to attack, but earlier than I did before.
The
So
breakaway
on
is losing
the
its lead.
penultimate lap
It's going to
instead
be
of
difficult for them.
on the last lap
The gap between the peloton and the escapees is stable.
is the thing.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
We are still too early for it to be particularly relevant.
Ranked 4th category, the next King of the Mountains summit will earn 1 point for the rider who's in front at the top.
But yeah, we want to be going hard if we can here.
The gap is wide.
Let's just... Okay, we don't need to chug. Anyone who needs to chug, now is your time.
No need to panic. panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the
Okay.
head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
But we're managing the time gap
There will be 1
better than
point to
last
be
time.
had towards the polka dot jersey at
Okay, we're just not.
the top of the next climb.
It's in this sort of final 2 laps
The
is
new
when we
climb is
have to do
approaching for the
stuff.
head of the race. Once more, there will be 1 point that goes towards the mountain standings.
Unless we catch
The
them,
race is 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
if we catch them, then we don't have
Breakaway
to
is
do that.
unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
Okay, we need to feed our guys, or we're gonna start
Okay,
talking to people.
lock consumer feed.
Yeah, I also just want to get you to persist without limit because
30
you're
seconds
dying.
lead for the head of the race.
Okay, we've caught one of them. There's just one of them left. He's not gonna.
The next climb is classified as 4th category.
He's not gonna
That means
stay out very
1
long.
point to be earned
And
for
now
the first
we're
rider
exactly
to
where
the
we
top.
want to be. We've got 38 kilometers to go. And I am in a pretty decent position.
You've got to react straight away, guys. He's taken provisional lead of the overall standings.
Pigcock. Why would he have taken provisional lead? There was no reason for him to take a provisional lead. This game is sometimes drives me crazy with this sort of stuff. It just deciding this sort of Marston and Martin. One of whom is Dan Marston and one is the other one, I guess. So yeah, the final lap is where we are going to make our attack on both of the final 2 climbs. Hopefully enough to really
It'll be
increase
important
our
to win the intermediate for
to
the
cut
points
down some
classification.
time.
I'm counting on you guys.
So one thing to remember is we can just make a save. If we've got a good time after this, we can just make a save and try and keep as much, and then just redo the final stage as often as we want. That is a valid option.
The front of the peloton is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
Okay, we don't particularly care about the intermediate sprint, but we also want to... Let's just zoom past the intermediate sprint because, feed my boys.
Okay, our consumer feed. Well done. You've won the intermediate
I win the sprint
That's less
despite
points
not
for
being
our
a sprinter.
competitors.
The next points for the mountain classification will be fought for
Okay.
at the top of L'Autre
Yeah,
Nom
we don't need to
Mountain,
go
a
until
short
the
cobblestone
climb
of 2
starts,
kilometers,
but we want
where
to be
there
in a
will
position...
2 points and 1 point for the polka dot jersey.
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the top of the climb.
Okay, so this is a horrid climb, an evil climb. An absolutely horrendous climb, but we can do it. We were also just a powerful boy. Continue comme ça. And if we drag them up like this, we can also theoretically do enough damage that we then force a bunch of people out of the peloton, which is probably a good thing. Okay.
You've got to react straight away, guys. He's taken provisional
How?
lead of the overall standing.
How has Banu taken over provisional lead? I have the exact...
Breakaway over.
This game. So we've managed to just get 20 people off, which I think is good. This is similar to what we did last time, but we're doing better. There's no breakaway ahead of us to have to deal
You
with.
were first over the top of the climb. That's good.
But because there's no breakaway, I don't want to get lax and sort of ride less hard in this section. Because we do need to be going speedy. If we can gain back time, we can gain back time. And that's something we need to be doing. Nothing I'm saying
Entering
actually
the
means
last 20
anything.
kilometers of the race.
That's fine.
Your opponents are upping the pace to hold off the
Yeah.
peloton.
And if we can get that bonus here, that would be even better. Okay.
He's asked his teammates to chase you down because you're dangerous for the overall standings.
So this
You're
is just
going to
our
have to try and
final
hold out.
recovery before... Yep, I know. I know, and I'm gonna ride hard for you, Bauer. We get the peloton despite... This game's like definition of what the peloton is becomes incredibly
Riding
funky
hard
sometimes.
behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Okay, if you want to ride hard down this 1 second, we can regain some energy, Bauer. You do you. And I guess I will do that as well, because you're forcing me to. This, like, first half of this mountain being largely descent is quite nice. And then we've got a long descent after the final climb
The
before.
last climb counting towards the mountain's classification is on the horizon. It's 1 kilometer at over 8%, making it an ideal moment to attack for those who don't want to wait for the short climb at the finish.
Yeah, we're gonna go for it, I think.
A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer.
That's fine. We are currently
He's trying to get out of the peloton. Watch out.
15 seconds ahead. Perfect.
The leader has buckled. This isn't the time.
He's not our leader. I'm the leader. He was only the leader for the flat stage. So we got 10k and a lot of this is downhill before the final.
Go. Only 10 kilometers left. The final short climb will complicate things.
Okay, we do want to recover some energy here if we can. Yeah, we really do need to do better than we did last time. This was the stage where I think we... It wasn't the stage where we lost the most time, that was the final stage. Like, quite obviously, we lost like half an hour on that stage. But... We could have lost less time on this stage, I think. Okay. We're going to let all this lot catch up with us.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers.
That final climb will be where we go then.
Attack. No need to ask questions.
Okay, if we can get on their wheel.
He's moving on to the attack.
Yeah. There's an instance where, like, we can stop that. It's fine. We just need to be saving some energy for the
At
final
5
climb.
kilometers from the finish, a group of riders is alone at the head of the race. Will they manage to hold out in the final kilometer?
Kilometer! The line delivery in this is insane in the best way. I adore it.
Guys, the final climb is 1 kilometer long. It's split into two, with a
Okay.
very, very steep foot, and the final 400 meters that are almost flat.
We can do it. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Oh, that probably wasn't the best braking ever. Just what? Yeah, my braking has been particularly appalling in this stream.
A bunched peloton is now entering the final kilometer. Who will prevail? A pure puncher or a sprinter who's not averse to short climbs?
Last kilometer. Come on, guys!
Okay, we're not going to win this, I don't think, but we can give it a go. Okay, we did it. Nice, nice. We did it. So unless something went very wrong, we should have made up some time there. Ugh. This is exhausting physically. That was new. They did a different pose. They didn't all T-pose. They all...
Ladies and gentlemen, he will climb. We can. He's in. He will.
So we have every single classification at this point, which is fun.
Well done, lads. Congratulations to you. We were the pre-race
3:36.14.
lived up to the role with brio. Well
That was
done for this
worse.
win. We retain the yellow jersey. It's a perfect day.
So that was worse than last time. So, but because of the first stage, we are still doing better overall. So we are 2 minutes 20. So we, in this final stage, need to make up about 40 minutes. I don't know if this will be doable, but it's worth a shot. Staging it. I'm saving over. Yeah, we can save over that power rebate, it doesn't really matter. Okay.
It's the final stage, guys. Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punches. We'll have to keep awake for the points classification.
So it's these last two sort of laps is where we have to really do stuff. I think we'll be okay on the first lap.
Hello and welcome to all. It's a demanding route that awaits the riders on today's stage, with numerous changes of direction, narrowing widths and plenty of short climbs. The Breton roads will no doubt put the peloton under pressure.
I don't think early on there's much that we care about.
It's not going to be an easy day. It's hardly ever flat. There's plenty of winding roads, and the final circuit.
We want to mostly just manage the time gap, I think.
Plenty in the tank for the last lap of the circuit. The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings.
But we do want to manage it.
King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group.
The first mountains classification.
So now we want to accelerate for the sprint.
And already thoughts at the front of the race turn towards an intermediate.
Don't think we did much there, and now we're on.
Sprint.
We'll stay on set high tempo for a wee bit.
20 points.
We'll stay on this for a wee bit, but not too much longer.
Time gap stabilized.
I'm gonna tell Trenton to have a drink.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go.
We shouldn't let them go though, and we shouldn't be riding slow.
Breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
I want us to be setting a high tempo going as quickly as we can. We want to break the course record.
The peloton is
here.
riding hard. Stay well placed.
Why is Trenton there?
King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers. the breakaway group.
Okay. Yeah, Trenton is dead. You want a drink. You want a drink. And you want a drink.
I'll consume a feed.
Last time checked with the
think.
breakaway. 1 minute. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
It will be important to win the intermediate for the points classification. I'm counting on you guys.
We came 5th, that's fine.
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the top of the climb.
Okay, so
Okay, I'll consume a
I just
feed.
need to use my teammates now if I can. And then, sort of, with 2 laps to go is when we make our move.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
Okay, we are riding pretty hard, which is nice. Just me and Micah who... Okay, so I want you just persist without limit.
I'll stick to the wheels in front, whatever happens.
So then Micah can blue gel it. So then we're the only one with blue gel left, but that's fine. Okay.
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
So then after this descent, we are going to be in the final 2.
The race is entering its final phase. There are only 2 laps left to ride. Breakaway over.
I mean, breakaway over. It just gets so confused with itself. Okay, we do need some juice to keep us going. But we've gone very hard here, which is hopefully a good thing. We're going quite slow now to recover, which is a bit of a worry. But that's fine. We have a couple of guys in this group still.
He's been dropped. The stage is too much for him.
Yep, that's good. That's fine. That's fine.
Excellent. You increase your lead on the overall climber standings.
Am I leading in the climber standings? What the heck? So yeah, we have really cut this down to...
And a 3rd place in the general classification of the Vuelta, Tadej Pogacar was the revelation
That
of
is
2019
such a
when
bad
it came to
pronunciation of
stage
Tadej
races. He did not take long to consolidate his
Pogacar.
reputation,
Pogacar.
winning the Tour de France yellow jersey the following year. He's one of the favourites for the race and the undisputed leader of his team. Watch out for him.
Watch out. So I think we've lost all of our teammates at this point, which is fine.
He's an excellent puncher who also knows how to climb in the mountains. On the other hand, it's better for him that he finishes alone because his capabilities as a sprinter really are limited.
Okay. So this is a climb that we... There we go. That was a better entrance to a climb than we've done for a wee bit.
You seem to be the best puncher in the group. You should be able to move to the front.
Okay, let's see how many more people we can drop this time. Because it's a circuit, theoretically we're going to reach a point where we could lap people. I don't think we will, because I don't think it's that bad for the people at the back. But we could. It's like a 15-kilometer circuit, so it's not impossible. I don't think the gap is that horrific though. Okay.
Winner of the Tour de l'Avenir and the under-23 piece race, David Gaudu is one of the most talented climbers of his generation. He notably won 2 stages on the 2020 Vuelta.
It's a shame that this game doesn't adapt some of these other races. Like, I know way less about
He's one of
like
the best punchers, but he's also very comfortable in the
the
mountains.
other races I do the Tour de France. The Tour de France is the only one I actually actively keep up with, except for this year when I managed to completely avoid it. But let's not do that again. Let's not do that for the fucking second time.
Having finished as best young rider in the 2017 Tour, Simon Yates confirmed his potential as a climber in 2018 by winning 3 stages of the Tour of Italy and by winning the general classification of the Vuelta.
Okay, we're down to 11 riders. Some great riders here.
Watch out for him in the mountains. He may be young, but he's already proved that he can compete with the best.
Okay. Is that the finish line? Yeah, that's the finish line. So we're going to be back here shortly for...
He's an excellent puncher and climber. He's a candidate for final victory.
the final. For final victory. Okay. Last lap. We've got this.
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
It is like, I don't know how we make up this half hour. It is very possible they were using like riders that they custom designed to be insanely good. In which case...
The men at the front are
Fuck.
beginning the final lap of the circuit. They've got 17 kilometers to go. We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to
Yeah, I
get
know
away
we
the
will. I've
final
just accidentally
kilometers.
crashed. So... Great. Great. If that crash could be what does this for me. Okay, I'm going to use this as the energy recovery climb. And then the next climb is going to be the going all out. Okay, let's go. Yeah, next climb is when we try and drop people.
At the top of the Côte de Californie, there are still several pretenders for stage victory.
Yeah, and me.
The Côte de
The actual.
Crimone will no doubt be the decider.
It will, and that's where I'm going to win. I've played this stage so many times because the Breja
With
Tour
his
is one
ruler
of the
climber profile,
first
Maximilian
tours you
Schachmann
unlock
has all
in
the
the
qualities required to challenge
pro
for the
mode.
general classification in stage races. He notably won Paris-Nice during the 2020 season.
Paris-Nice, not Paris-Nice. Paris-Nice. Okay. 10k to go. And 1 climb. I really hope we're in a better position to what we were last time. I don't know where we lost the half hour, that's what I'm wondering. But presumably we should be finishing every race with as little energy as possible without impacting the future ones if... Well, at least this final one should be very much one that we finish with no energy. Okay, let's go. How are you keeping up with me, cunt? Okay, we're down to 6. For this final 6 kilometer, mostly downhill.
Excellent. You increase your lead on the overall
Okay,
climber standing.
we've won the climber standings. Victory's going to come down to descending, which notoriously I'm very bad at, so...
Only 5 kilometers left for the head of the race.
If we haven't done this, after this one I am going to call it a day because we've been going for 3 hours now. And I am hungry and tired. But yeah, this has been really fun. It's proven harder than we thought last time, but than I assumed after our first.
With less than 3 kilometers to go, the winner will be one of the breakaway riders. Is there anyone bold enough to try something before the sprint?
I mean, I could, but I need to not
Keep
crash
calm.
before that.
You're doing fine. You're going to win it.
He said that last time and it fucked everything. This time, it hasn't.
The red pennant for the breakaway riders. Victory will come down to a sprint.
He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standing.
Did I sprint too early? 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 Okay, so we won. We won. The question is, did we 44-minute win? I don't think so. It's such a shame there are no like records of the like world records for these because it's really hard to work out what they did. I'll do some research between streams. We're going to do something else next stream. We're going to take a break from this because we played quite a lot of this. And it's probably time to do something else for a bit. Okay. So this needs to be
Ladies
ideally
and gentlemen, applaud him loudly. We can say he will climb.
needs to be closer to 3 hours than 4.
Well done.
3:52
lads.
again.
Congratulations to you. We were the pre-race favourites, and you lived up to the role with brio. Well done for this win. We finish with the yellow jersey, the green jersey, and the polka dot jersey.
I'm riding
It's
as well as I can, and it's just not doable. I'm going to submit this as a run anyway, so we get on the leaderboard. But I am not sure what they did. I am not sure what they did. Yeah, we cut that down away, but nowhere near. We're still 40 minutes almost. Yeah, that is 40 minutes and about 30 something. And 38. So yeah, this has been the stream for today. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. What haven't we unlocked still? The Giro de Como. So let's just look at speedrun.com quickly. Speedrun.com. So Blazer Cup, we're in second. London. We're in third. by about 20 minutes. We have no idea how they're doing this. We'll try some ones that these people don't have records on. This is the thing, like, something like the Tour de France is going to be more interesting because it's going to be slightly easier because so few people. Same with the Dauphiné. Paris-Nice and Euro Tour, we can just do them for. We've done the Vlaanderen Classic, and we'll do the Giro de Lombardia once we unlock it. So, yeah. This has been the stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's go to Big Me. Let's just get my work schedule up quickly and work out when I can stream next week. So, give me a second. Tomorrow there is a fair chance I do a stream. Same with Tuesday. Wednesday I might do one. It really depends whether I've got a late shift and it depends if I can get covered for that. Then Thursday, Friday, Sunday I'm off work, so should be some shifts. I'll update the schedule and put all that in the channel description. If you want updates, you can follow me on my various socials, which are linked down in the description. They're also underneath me at the moment. It's Post and Panda on most stuff. Yeah, thanks for coming. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'm glad to be back into streaming. It's been a while. I do enjoy doing this. And I will see you all for the next one. Goodbye. Where's the stream ending button? There we go. I'll just leave this on for like 30 seconds and end the stream.